You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Huggin, Duggin.
Well, shit.
Get it out now. Let's not forget.
Fuck.
There you go. All right, let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggin.
So,
Hey. Good to see you, buddy. All right, gang. Well, damn it all. That was just so rough. That was, I don't know.
Hang on. Going into this game, did anyone know that Rex Burkhead was still in the freaking NFL?
I didn't.
Rex motherfucking Burkhead.
Yeah.
Goes for 150
Yep. Has his best game all season.
of his career.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, his whole career.
Oh, no.
Like watching this defense, like I don't remember the last time I felt so helpless and so concerned and worried whenever we had to defend the opposing team. It was, we were getting pushed off the ball. Linval Joseph, I don't know where he disappeared to. I was at complete shock. I was shocked, complete loss. This just wasn't the team that played last Thursday that played the Chiefs to overtime. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, we know that it was not the team because the whole team was on COVID. I'm a COVID reserve list. But at the same time, it's like, daggum, like their whole team was too, you know?
I don't recall us having quite such a Jekyll and Hyde team. Like that's really what this feels like. We get to such extremes of one side or the other. Like we play really good or just good enough, or man, when we lose, like God bless, do we lose? Like,
yeah, we go down swinging with the loss.
It is really rough. Yeah, I don't even know what all to say about this. You know, I'll say this. The one thing that I thought was just kind of an interesting perspective that my dad pointed out,
Please bring some wisdom, Papa Wolldog.
Yeah,
he said something and I was like, God, you know what? You're actually kind of right. And I don't know, I'm probably not the first one, and neither is he, probably the first one to think this, but when he thought it was the first time I had heard it, with the amount of players that were in COVID protocol on both the Texans and the Chargers, this is kind of like a preseason game with a lot of guys that are fighting for positions or fighting for money that don't have that opportunity. So there were guys that were really, really going for it. And and obviously I think the Texans might have just had better players on their deep practice squad, you know, that they pulled up than we did.
Well, I think it's a good point, because I think the level of drop, maybe the level of drop off for them is a lot less than the level of drop off for us,
which is surprising for the Texans.
It's just I didn't think, you know, we had some significant guys out, you know, and you can see specific plays where if they were in, it would have been different. I'll give you a very specific instance. It was a 2-point conversion. Justin was kind of trying to figure out what was going on. Kelly got into the end zone, turned around. He wasn't quick enough, and the ball hit him in the leg, and he didn't catch it.
Right. Yeah.
Austin Eckler makes that catch. He's done it 3 or 4 times this season.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just having the B or C squad in scenarios where he's used to having his A guy, and they just can't do it.
Yeah, but that's just
what it was.
It's just not the excuse, though, because the Texans were on their B and C guy too, and they still went out and hung up 41 on us.
Right.
So it's
that's a loaded score, because that last pick six was just, I wouldn't say that. Really
Okay, they
was a
still
thing.
put up 30 points. Legitimately, truly put up 30 points on us. They beat us without that pick six.
Right.
So like, it's just, the only thing that you can come to is that we were not prepared. The game plan was not good enough.
Right.
And Telesco has not done a good enough job of making an overall roster that's complete from backups all the way through. That's the only thing that I can blame it on, because we have a more athletic team, more talented team that was out there. They are down more guys than us on the COVID list. They had a third round rookie quarterback playing, looking like a Pro Bowler because of the way that we play defense.
Yep.
Like I last week against Kansas City, we took the L, and we were texting the next day like all the positives that we could take away from it.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be negative. I want to be shamelessly positive. I want to be constructive. I just don't know what the positive to take away from this is yet. The only thing that we'll be able to know is if in a week or 2 weeks from now, everyone starts smacking each other around and spitting in each other's mouths and getting pissed off because they lost to the Texans.
Right.
Then maybe you could say we learned from it, and that was the constructive thing that came out of this. But golly, that was so hard to watch.
It really was.
And the other thing that was tough too, and I think one of the bigger things that as soon as this happened, I felt like our run defense just really fell apart even more so, was Drew Tranquil going down with the leg injury. Like he was the one kind of consistent player on that defensive kind of run stopping that was decent the last few weeks and was a part of those other, games where our run defense was decent. And he was gone, and it was like the beginning of the season all over again, where we were just getting run all over. And without Justin Jones being in there, without some of these other guys being in there, without Joey Bosa, you just see like Kenneth Murray should not be rushing on the edge anymore. He looked so lost and had no idea, couldn't bend, couldn't get around anybody. It was just, like you said, I'm trying to find positives, and we're going to have fun in this damn episode. I promise you that. We are going to have some fun, whether you like it or not. But
whether we like it or not.
I want to forget that game. Like I kind of wish I'd taken it. I could take it back and wouldn't have watched it. Really, it was just such a bummer.
I mean, which was the worst loss? Was this Texan game or like the Ravens game?
Texans. We should have messed them up.
Yeah.
You can't lose to a team that's 3-11. You just, when you're a supposed playoff team, we were in the playoffs as of that game. The Baltimore Ravens are a good team, especially with Lamar Jackson. You can't lose to the Houston Texans. Like you just can't.
Well,
you can't.
Yeah, I agree. You can't. I mean, but we've seen this season that there are teams that are getting, beaten by other teams that they should not be getting beaten by. And part of that it has to do with the player availability, whether that's from injury or whether that's from COVID. You got to have the right guys available, or you have to have the depth to step up for those guys. And for us, the depth couldn't do it. And it's an unfortunate thing. We want to see these guys succeed. We want to see, these up and coming players step up. We want to finish strong, like Staley has talked about. We got to finish the season strong. And right now, we are just not doing that, unfortunately.
Well, here's the thing that's promising if you want to look at the plus side. Like, people aren't injured. These are people out a week and are going to come back and be themselves again, where they're not going to be linked. If anything, they're going to get rest. So the fact that it's no longer in our control what happens sucks. That stresses me out, and it sucks. But I do think we're going to see, as long, God forbid, any more people get put on COVID that aren't vaccinated and are out 10 games.
Right.
We get a couple of these guys back, it's going to feel like a different team. I just feel like we had so many major guys not playing. And I know you compare, they didn't either. I don't really give a shit. Like, our main players were not in there. And that is why we didn't win that game.
Right.
That is why we didn't win that game. Should our backups have beat their backups? Sure. But that I don't care about that. I'm not taking the backups to the playoffs and trying to win with all of our backup squad.
Yeah, but your starters aren't going to get to the playoffs unless your backups can show up and play a decent game.
Well, they clearly can't, because we need them back in order to do it. So we're on the same page with that.
Right.
we clearly need to develop and get more guys in here that can step up and do it, or it just needs to be a better called game. Because I didn't seem like there were a lot of adjustments made, a lot of huge plays, like just massive bombs. Mills was looking like just out of his mind. I couldn't. And I think it's hard for, to look at Asante Samuel and be like, hey, you're going to come back and you're going to be right where you were when you left off. That was unrealistic.
Not going to be 100%. Yeah.
And then we lose Davis before the game starts. Like, you're setting yourself up for failure. And our whole secondary missed tackles all over the place that looked like the end of that Kansas City game.
Right.
It was just nothing really positive came out of that game. Really. Yeah. Nothing except for Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson
had a great game.
Stepped up.
Yep. Justin Jackson played a great game,
which sucked.
Except the fumble,
which pretty much put the nail in the coffin.
Pretty much.
And Dustin Hopkins was making his kick. So
yeah,
those are positive.
Something that we're not used to seeing. So,
and it makes me appreciate the guys that weren't there. Like, I missed Andre Roberts. That is a different kind of return when we have Andre Roberts in there.
Right.
So I want these guys back. Like, let's get them healthy, get them off this stupid list, and let's go.
Yeah. I mean, not having Michael Davis at the very beginning was a kick in the nuts. And don't tell me that Derwin James is going to be in the game when he's just going to be on the sideline. Like, don't tell me that. Like, just say that he's out and have him be there. Like,
we'll get into that later, what Coach said, but it was a extreme emergency situation. Like, all people had to have gone down.
There was no one else to go on the field.
That's why he was there. Exactly. That's what it was.
All right. Well, looking at the current AFC playoff picture right now, the Chiefs are currently the division leaders. Chargers did have a wild card spot before this game. Then we are now sitting at the top of the quote unquote in the hunt list. With 8-7, but the Raiders are also just behind us with 8-7. So I think there's only a few options now as far as us being able to make the playoffs.
It's the 7th seed. That's the only option we have is a 7th seed.
Yeah.
That's we're not going to catch anybody else. We have to win both games. And as of tonight, right now, as we're recording, the Dolphins are beating the Saints. The Dolphins are going to jump into that 7th spot. So we need the Dolphins and the Ravens both to lose one of their last two. And we have to win out. That's how we get in the playoffs.
I think it's possible. Ravens play Tennessee next week, and then the Dolphins play.
The Ravens play the Rams.
Rams, and then the Dolphins play Tennessee and New England. I think.
Yep. So they have a tough schedule. Like,
they're not playing easy guys. They're playing people that are going to need to compete to try. They're not going to be sitting starters.
They also know that they need to show up and win. Like, these are all playoff games for all three of our teams. All three of us have to win out in order to get in. But yeah, we're not going to catch the Patriots or the Colts. Those guys have that wild card at sitting at 9-6 right now, because I think they have all the tie breaks as well. So we're trying to get that 7th seed, squeak in, and hopefully we get healthy. We need the Ravens to lose, we need the Dolphins to lose, and we have to win out. That's the only way we get in.
Let's focus now on just winning out, and then let that other stuff happen. Because I remember there's been multiple years in the past where we need things to work out. Like, this is a pretty clear cut way to go about getting in. Like, previous years, it's been, we need this, and you need like a calculus degree to figure out how we get into the playoffs. It's pretty clear cut. Win out your games, and these two teams need to lose one. That's it. That's where we're at.
There you go. Well, we'll see how the Saints and the Dolphins game goes here live on the show. I'm sure the game will end before we finish, so we'll at least have some idea on how possible that is with the Dolphins. But gotta try to stay shamelessly positive, guys. I mean, there's still a chance. We are not out of it. We're not out of it. There's still a chance. All right, gang, and now it is time to talk about our sponsor this week, Symbol. Symbol is the stock market for sports that allows you to profit off your sports knowledge. On Symbol, you can trade sports teams like stocks, and every time your teams win, you earn cash. Use your sports knowledge on Symbol to buy low, sell high, and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Join over 7,000 early adopters who have started to invest in their favorite teams. Visit www.symbol.com, that's SIMBULL.com, to create a free account. And when you deposit, make sure to use the promo code ChargerChat, all one word, for a money-back guarantee. When you use the promo code ChargerChat and deposit, your deposit will have a money-back guarantee up to $500. That means even if you lose money in the first 90 days, Symbol will refund your initial deposit, no questions asked. Join Symbol and start investing and profiting from your favorite teams. All right, guys. Well, we need to bring up the positivity here. This
All
was
right,
Let's go.
Come on,
was
let's
rough
channel it back
to-
in. Charger chat. We still got to shut out the playoffs. Got to
Right.
beat these two sucky teams, and we're in. Let's go.
Let's go.
You know what's going to be beautiful was when it comes down to us beating the Raiders week 18. We go into their house and just bad baby, and we're in the playoffs.
in their own
Let's do
home.
it.
Has to happen. So to bring up some of the energy, we need to talk about what just happened. It was Christmas. It was freaking Christmas, everybody.
Oh, Shisho.
Popo Shisho came and visited all of us. And what did you guys get for Christmas?
I got a guitar. I guess it's a midlife crisis. I've never played a guitar. Told my wife I wanted to learn, and she bought me a
remembered.
guitar.
Wow.
Yep. So I got
What
an
kind?
acoustic guitar, acoustic cutout. I have no idea what that means.
Nothing fancy.
Perfect.
I know 2 chords now. I'm working on transitioning back and forth, so it's hard as shit. My fingers hurt, but I'm loving it. Dig
Good.
it.
Any
What
words
about
of
you guys?
Any words of encouragement for Kev? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Any YouTube videos I should watch and learn how to play some sweet,
There you
sweet
go.
licks? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some guitar players out there listening right now.
Yeah, Will Dog, tell me about the statue. I saw some statue on Twitter. What was that?
So this guy coming in hot. I
Zeus.
imagine that this is going to be Justin Herbert's eventual Hall of Fame statue.
That's his hair flow.
Yeah, he's going to grow out the beard. His flow is going to be out of this world. So it's just my dad saw this statue of Zeus and took it to a trophy place and had them put Bolt up at the bottom. And I
I love
freaking
it.
love it. And it's the only one in
Dude.
existence right now. So yes, I've got a Bolt up Zeus
What
for
a
my
cool gift.
for me to look at right over here. Yes.
Good work, Papa. Will Dog. Good work.
How about you, Kyle? What was what came under your tree?
Yeah, I got wife got me some clothes, but the coolest gift that I got was from Wool Dog. Wooly sent me 2 cards, like football cards. It was a Justin Herbert rookie and a Phillip Rivers rookie card. It was sick to see, like on the back it had all of his NC State stats.
Mm-hmm.
So that has gone in the office, got it away from the kids as fast as possible. And yeah, I thought that was a really cool, unique gift. So thank you, Wool Dog.
Yes. Gem Mint 10, baby. Nothing but the
Yeah,
best
I
for
got
my
sent,
boys.
he sent me that too. The brothers Duggin both got those. I was very, very pleased.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Absolutely. No. It's we gotta remember. I think that's one of the things we have to take away from this game, folks, is we got to remember to be thankful. Thankful
Yeah.
for what we do have. Like right now, we've got Justin
Right.
freaking Herbert, who is
And we're all pissy pants because we're in the playoff hunt.
Right.
You know, like last year, these games
This
meant
was over.
nothing. We
We
were
were
hoping
done.
for tanks so that we could fire our coach and have a higher draft
Right.
pick.
Yep.
That's where
and
we
then
were
we
at
win the
last
last
year.
4 games. So
Yeah.
we didn't
Yeah,
quite
so
go that
right-
way either.
No, right now we still got meaningful football.
Yes.
Our fate is in other people's hands, but we're still, every Sunday is exciting, and it's let's go win this game still.
Right.
So hopefully we get some people back.
That's right. Yeah, it's it's never a walk in the park with the Chargers. It's always going to be gut-wrenching excitement, just from start to finish.
Yeah.
And we've got that, so we can be thankful for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hate to bring it back down again, but
Let's get back
Thing
into
I'm not
COVID
thankful
news.
for.
yeah.
Screw COVID.
So yeah, COVID is continuing to just ravage this team. Unfortunately, whatever stuff that they've put in place to try to prevent this,
It's not working.
it ain't working. We gotta revamp. We gotta take a step back and look at this because Daniel Popper tweeted out that the Chargers added to the COVID-19 list defensive back Chris Harris Jr., cornerback Michael Davis, safety Nasir Adderley, safety Alohi Gilman, edge rusher Amike Igbule, offensive line Senio Kelemeti, and defensive lineman Andrew Brown.
Sick.
Dude,
God dang
the thing that stressed me out a lot is that before the game started, it was Michael Davis had an illness, and they said he was questionable.
Yeah.
He wasn't questionable.
No.
He tested positive for COVID.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe he
So
was.
what the-
Maybe he called them and he had like symptoms, like, "Hey, I'm not
No, he
feeling
was
good.
no. They said on the broadcast that he was there there at the facility, and he just didn't go out for warm-ups. So they didn't let him on the field. So what tells me is that I'm seeing a lot of these names in the position group that he's at. he was on the plane with everybody. He was sick then. I'm scared that there's going to be more people to the list in the next couple days.
Yeah.
So it's just, I hope
It
these
sucks.
guys are vaccinated so it's a 5-day deal, because we're coming up. Tuesday is the last day, I think. Tomorrow is the last day to get the 5 days or whatever, the 2 tests to be able to do that, the 4 days or whatever. So, dude, crazy. This is the year of COVID. It's like this new strain is so contagious. It's not really making any of these players really sick. You saw Austin Eckler talking about it like he felt fine. It's just that they're getting it. It's just so contagious. So,
Right.
and it's happening across the league. I think in this one weekend, we've had 400 positive cases in the NFL, which is like
Out of
more
this
than
world.
last year.
All
Yeah.
of last year, there was 200 something cases.
Exactly. So
Wow.
at this rate, most of the teams aren't going to have any players.
Doesn't
So-
matter who. When it comes down to the playoffs, it's going to be who can avoid COVID the most.
Exactly. Who hits it it's crazy to think, but who gets it at the little sweet window where
Right.
they can roll in, if they can get into the playoffs, they're not dealing with it in the playoffs.
They
Right.
all already got it, and they have
Exactly.
the antibody, and now they won't get it again. Hopefully,
That's the hope. That's the hope.
That is absolutely the hope. Fernando Ramirez tweeted out that Chargers coach Brandon Staley says wide receiver Mike Williams, Nasir Adderley, and Chris Harris Jr. are out this week and added to the COVID list.
Unvaccinated is
Yeah.
what that means.
That is what that means.
hopefully those are the only 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Well,
can
that's
only hope.
we need Derwin back clearly, and we need Asante to hopefully have gotten some of the rust knocked off, because we're still looking at a lot of those guys that played last week not making tackles are going to be on the field in that secondary.
But here's the deal: what we need healthy is our defensive line and our
Exactly.
linebackers, because
We need just
the
Jones back.
Broncos are going to run the ball until you stop it. So
Right.
we need those we need Justin Jones back. We need that Joey Bosa. We need to have our defensive line back in place
Mhm.
to be able to shut down this team, because the DBs they're secondary right now, and get it? They're
Yeah.
secondary right now
See what you
as
did
far
there.
as importance.
Shut
yeah.
up, Kyle.
All right. Moving over to the press conference sound bites. Coach Staley on the game versus the Texans. This was a challenging week. I loved the way that our guys prepared this week. We didn't play well enough today, but that doesn't change the way that I feel about them. This is the tough side of the NFL. It didn't go down today, and that's what I told them. It's been a fight this entire season for us, and it's going to continue to be that way.
Dude, I was thinking about this earlier. We're the 4th down team, right?
Mhm.
We're going to take it right to the end and get into the playoffs. We're that 4th down. We're going to go for it on 4th down. That's going to be that last game of the year. You see what I did there, Kyle?
I do.
Not
Yeah,
quite
I
as
did.
good as your
Yeah.
secondary joke, but
It
you're
was good.
welcome.
It was okay. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. The one thing that he did say in the press conference that I at least respected, and I respected a lot of what he said, but this just stood out to me as far as what it was that he said. He was like, I didn't coach well enough today, which was like, I mean, I don't know the last time I've ever heard a coach say that, like just straight up say, I didn't coach well enough today. This was me. This was on me. This was my fault. Like, yeah, we had some players that didn't do it, but I didn't coach them up. I didn't, scheme it correctly. So I have respect for a coach that doesn't just say, yeah, we missed some tackles, or we didn't make some kicks, or we didn't, make the connections, or just saying what we didn't do right. It was more taking some of that blame, taking the ownership of like, yeah, that was on me, guys. So I liked hearing him say that, not that I want him to say it, obviously, but like
Accountability. He's holding himself
it's
accountable.
the accountability aspect
Right.
of it.
That's
which,
clearly what happened. That we couldn't stop anything. Couldn't
Yeah.
stop Rex Burkhead to save our lives.
Staley on Derwin James Jr. not playing despite being active. He was just there in an emergency only. He was there in case we got cleaned out. He was only going to go go out there if we didn't have anyone else to put out there. So I guess
Yeah,
Wow.
he was that you look at the roster and all the guys that
we were
can't play.
so
like you
depleted.
just,
There was no options.
yeah.
that's kind of shows you where our team was this last game. Like a guy that probably wouldn't have made the 50, that suited up that game was suited up
Mhm.
and might have had to play. So, I still, it's not an excuse, but I think our bet. You can say whatever you want about the Texans, sure. But our best players weren't out on the field today, and you can't, with the way this team's set up and built, we're not going to win games without them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully, whatever it is that's going on with this hamstring injury is better by this next game, man, because we need him. I know he's not going to be 100%, but a 75% Derwin has got to be better than anybody else that we're going to put out in that position. And then Staley on Slater on finishing the season strong. We've got to lock in on next week. It's all we can do. You can only dwell on the past for so long because next week's coming and we've got to be ready. Now it's even more important that we finish these last 2 games strong.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got to come out and show something different because you lose one more game and it's just season's over.
It's over.
Pretty much.
You have it 100%. There's no way to win one game and get in because the Ravens and Dolphins aren't going to lose the both of the last 2. So,
No.
and even if they do, they have the tiebreak on us already. So
we got to win both.
I mean, we have to win. Yeah, we have to win.
Have to win. All right. Well, if you want to win, go on over to chargerchat.com and check out some of the sweet merch that we have over there. And also chat it up with other Charger Chat members and places that you can ask questions for Ask Boltfam. This is the first time we're going to be pulling a couple questions from the chargerchat.com website for Ask Boltfam. So if you have questions and you don't have Twitter or Reddit, you can go on over to chargerchat.com and send out a sweet, lovely question.
And also with the website, keep an eye on it and join because we may, in the future, granted we have them, an instant reaction, we may bring on somebody from the website real fast in the moment. Bring them on. Let's talk Charger football real quick after the victory. So, and we're going to be reaching out to people on the website. So go join and we'll you may be getting a link in your inbox.
There you go. All right. Something to look forward to. All right, Gabe. Well, next on the list is Fan Focus. Let's see which fan we are bringing into focus this week.
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are here today with Aaron from Oceanside. What is going on, Aaron?
What's up, Kevin? How are you?
Good, man. Good. I feel bad because we scheduled this 3 weeks ago, and we were looking at the schedule. We're like, man, this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna be like talking about how great the win was. And what just happened? So my apologies to you for that.
We got COVIDed.
We got COVIDed. We got the vid.
Yep. No, I was hoping the same thing, but looking at the playoff picture and whatnot, as long as the Chargers handle their business, the Ravens losing one and the Dolphins losing one seems pretty realistic. So I will stay shamelessly positive with you guys this week.
I love it. Yeah, that's the most simple of when we're in this situation. Usually, this is the most basic of scenarios where you need help. It's not like 5 teams needs to do this and then this needs to happen and then that. So it kind of, we'll see.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
In 2013, didn't we need Geno Smith of the Jets to beat the Dolphins or something like that?
Just
and 3 other
stuff.
teams.
Yeah. So this is a little clearer. I wish we weren't in this situation, obviously, but. Hey, we go for it on 4th down. We're going to go on 4th down in the season. I guess that's just how it's going to go.
Big balls Staley.
Big balls Staley, taking it to the wire. All right, man. Well, let's find out. I want to learn a little bit more about you. I know we met at a tailgate a while back, but let's find out about you and how you became a Charger fan.
Well, I was born in 1990 and growing up all throughout the late 90s, from when I can remember, from the mid to late 90s up to the early 2000s, my dad was always a huge Charger fan and nobody else was in the family with him. So around 2000, 2001, when I was 10 or 11 years old, he started taking me to preseason games because it was a little less energetic and I was a little kid, so he didn't want to expose me to too much craziness going on.
Sure.
And I enjoyed it so much. In 2003, I think we went 4-12 that season. He started to take me. He took me at 2 regular season games. I believe it was the Bengals when they had Carson Palmer, and the Green Bay Packers when they still had Brett Favre.
Oh shit!
And even though we lost both games, as a kid, as a 13-year-old back then, I had a ton of fun. So the off season came. I asked my dad, "Hey, can we get season tickets, or can we go to more games?" So my dad brought up, "Well, why don't?" I think in my dad's mind, he's like, "Let me use this as an excuse to get season tickets," because he's always wanted to go to games.
And now he's got a buddy to go with.
Yeah. So 2004 rolls around. We have season tickets. We're not expecting Jack Diddley from the Chargers because it's just they've sucked all the previous years, but the Chargers had that amazing 12-4 season. My family started to jump on the bandwagon, like all my other family
Nice.
suddenly they wanted to be season ticket holders too. And it became a big family event. And we've had season tickets all the way from 2004 all the way to now, and haven't skipped one season. It's been a blast. So many good memories.
That's awesome. Well, this is a good question for you then. Like the differences between Qualcomm season ticket holder and doing that vibe versus where we are now at SoFi. Like, because you've been to games at both. What has it been like for you?
Okay, so I'll break this. I'll break this down in the two things. Tailgating, I think Qualcomm blows SoFi and StubHub out of the water.
Yeah.
The tailgating at Qualcomm Stadium was so easy to coordinate with friends to get into the stadium. Here at SoFi, they try to control every little movement you do, and it's quite ridiculous. I've seen videos and heard from some people I know in Thunder Alley that they've threatened to revoke their season tickets, all because they weren't following exactly what those parking Nazis were saying.
Whoa.
It's pretty rough. But once we get in, of course, we always have a good time, all the Thunder Alley family. We park right outside of Thunder Alley because we like to take up a lot of space with our beer pong games and whatnot. But but Qualcomm definitely is the best for tailgating. But in-game experience, you cannot beat SoFi. You go in there and you're basically at an EDC concert, or EDM concert. It's amazing. So if we could just combine Qualcomm and SoFi into one, I would be so happy.
Yeah. Well, it's fun, man. It's a great environment. Charger fans are starting to show up more and more as the season goes along. So, what are your, I guess my other question would be like, what is your biggest memory since you've been a fan? You've had season tickets since 04 till now. What's been the biggest thing for you as being a Charger fan?
Like, what's my best memory of a game?
Yeah.
I have to say it was 2008 with Charger. We barely squeaked in the playoffs. That's the year that Ed Hockley screwed us against the Broncos. I think week 2 or 3, which, by the way, that was my wife's first ever game when I first met her. She got to watch, so she got to watch dysfunctional Charger fans.
Setting her up for the future.
Yep, I'm just prepping her. But so yeah, we got screwed that year by Hockley. So the entire year, I think all of us Charger fans felt like we had a bone to pick with the entire NFL. When it comes to that last game against the Broncos, I think we beat them like 50 something. They barely scored. We whooped their ass on prime time.
Yeah.
Won the division, and then we play Peyton Manning and the Colts. They come into our house, the 8-8 Chargers, and the game is tied, and it's going into halftime. And the part I don't think you can see on TV is there was a mist or a fog that was going onto the field, and that's around when POD dropped their. That was like a couple of years after POD dropped their Charger anthem.
Charger song, yeah, remember that.
And the entire stadium was doing the chorus of that song during the commercial break. Chargers were on the field. Colts were on the field for kickoff. There was a mist or a fog going onto the field, and the entire stadium was singing the Charger anthem together. And that's probably my most amazing memory of ever attending a game.
That's amazing. It's those things that you don't get when you watch it on TV. It's like the energy and the vibe is just a totally different experience.
You feel like you're just one huge family in there during game day. It's amazing. Like, politics doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's just we're all Charger fans together.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, I think a lot of our fan base could use a couple hugs from people. So it's, tough right now. We don't have control of our destiny, as we were talking about to start. So what are your hopes? What do you want to see us do these next couple weeks to just not only win, but like to right our minds as Charger fans? You know what I mean? Like, 'cause it seems to be a vibe right now.
You know what? We've always known when we lose, we're done for. We don't deserve anything. When we win, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The truth is somewhere in the middle. We all just need my name is Darren, so I'm going to say relax. RELAX. Relax.
Yeah.
We got a pretty good shot. We need to get past the Broncos. I know we had Chris Harris, a couple others, all go on the COVID list today, so they're going to miss this weekend's game.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, the Broncos have the douchiest quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they don't have much of an offense. So we got Justin freaking Herbert. Just get past the Broncos, fuck the Raiders, and I'm pretty sure the Ravens are going to drop at least one. And Dolphins, they might be losing right now. I don't know. It's 5:30 on Monday night. Or
Fingers
5:45.
crossed. I'm hoping that happens. Just get that out of the way right now.
Yeah. So, you know what? We got this. We've been in way worse situations. Go back to that 2013. We needed a ton of teams to lose the last 2 weeks. It happened. 2000. I want to say 2008 when we went 8-8. I believe we needed the Broncos to drop their last 3 or 4 games, and they dropped all of them, including one game to the crappy Raiders. So
Crazy.
Don't ever write off the Chargers. We know as NFL fans, all you have to do is punch your ticket into the playoffs, because to get to the Super Bowl, it's not all about skill. It's a lot of luck. You have to have balls bounce your way and whatnot. So we could be a wild card team. You never know what's going to happen. Just punch your ticket into the playoffs. And Herbert, primetime Herbie, come on. Like, we got this.
Let's go. I love it, dude. You just got me pumped up. I feel reinvigorated after that. That was a good halftime speech. I'm pumped, man.
Now let's get our players back from COVID. Come on, baby.
Let's go. Let's get those off the list. So, Aaron, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. And look forward to meeting you in Thunder Alley again, playing some beer pong.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're coming to the Bronco game. Stop on by.
Fingers crossed. I'm trying. The baby just came, so that might have been kiboshed, but fingers crossed. I know. Okay. So, but yeah, dude, it was a pleasure chatting with you, and let's do it again soon.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Well, heck yeah, Aaron, doggone it. Like, we are somewhere in the middle. All right. It's not, abandoned ship, and it's not, we're totally Super Bowl bound. It's just, hey, we're still a team. We're still competing. We're still out there.
Let's sit back and do what we can do. Is that support?
Right.
That's what we got right
Relax.
now.
So nothing we can do.
RELAX. Let's just relax and go beat the Broncos and get a little excitement, a little energy back into the Charger fan base. Get all of our guys back for that last week and go whoop some ass in Vegas. And then, we'll see. Hopefully we know by then what's going on. But these 2 weeks, big 2 weeks, we're going to know a lot more in 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah. Two. I mean, these are the two most crucial games now for the Chargers to even have a hint of being in the playoffs. So let's see how it goes. But Aaron, thank you for chatting with my man. Pleasure, Kev. Man. Love having you on, buddy. And now it is time to go on to the next segment. You know him. I hope you love him. It's the Craig Experience.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh,
Craig Experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on. Okay, folks. We are going to try something a little bit different today. I think in the psychology world, this is what is referred to as a sandwich, which basically means that we're going to start off with some positivity. The meat of that bad boy is generally like the not so great stuff. And then you get that nice little bottom layer bread as well. I'm more of a brioche guy myself when I do have bread, which isn't very often. But when there is some sweet, tasty brioche available, I do like to avail myself to it and partake of some every now and again. That said, where are my manners? CC Brody's, the biggest of salutes. Holiday salutes to you and to the rest of the Bolt fam. What is going on? And welcome to this therapy sesh of sorts in this edition of the Craig Experience. So let's start off with Christmas. Mine was great. Had a fantastic time with my family. My kids got pretty much everything they wanted, which was nice. And they even broke a toy or two within the first 8 hours, which means they thoroughly enjoyed it. And now daddy has to replace them. But hey, if you have little kids, you're used to this kind of thing. If you're looking to have them, prepare yourself, because it is one of the joys of parenthood, particularly if you have boys. So don't say your boy didn't warn you. Other than that, my wife had a fantastic day, and the family was here, and they did me a huge favor, because them being in town stopped me from going to NRG Stadium and witnessing that S show. So thankful for that too. And again, that's just how we're going to start this thing off, with the love and joy of Christmas and the wonderful, wonderful Christmas spirit and everything that abounds in regards to it. Because, hey, can't take that stuff for granted. Now we have to talk about this game, the meat of this bad boy. And it's probably a triple decker, but we got to do it, right? So look, we lost to Shane Falco and company. Let's be honest with it. They smoked us. Nobody expected it. And the vid is not an excuse, because they were down more guys than we were. And as a matter of fact, they had cats come in off the street and they still wiped the floor with us. Oh, look, this reminds me, I'm going to have to take responsibility for Mike Davis going down before the game because I might have put a little bit of bad juju out there. Saturday night, I sent out a tweet saying that we weren't out of the vid woods just yet because they test up into game day. And apparently that's what happened. Mr. Vato tested positive for the vid. And we got to experience, buddy, a whole lot of Devontae Harris. And yuck. That wasn't good. And I never have to see it again in my life. Hopefully we don't have to anytime soon or ever again. Alohi Gilman, nasty work, particularly in regards to tackling. Not a good day for the kid. And Mr. Kenneth Murray, K9, IDK. I don't know what they're going to do with him moving forward. He's like a man without a home. No matter where they put him, he's a liability. Hopefully, he figures something out here at the end of the year. Going into the offseason, they can, exhaust whatever resources they can put into helping him acclimate to this defense, because you can't have another first-round situation, the likes of Jerry Tillery out there. And by the way, please never again line up Kenneth Murray next to Jerry Tillery, especially on running downs. The Texans saw it and probably laughed just before they snapped the ball and ran right at them multiple times. To the tune of Mr. Rex Burkhead, by the way, who was looking like 2010 Peyton Hillis. Y'all remember that dude, right? Buddy who had that really good year with the Browns, and so he ended up on the cover of Madden and then went MIA. You never heard from him again? Yeah, that dude. Rex, 31-year-old Rex Burkhead, I believe, out there 150 yards rushing. And that was only like the Texans' second 100-yard performance of the season, which is not the type of stain you want on you as an organization. Like, this game was just nasty all the way around, and there's no denying it. One team showed up, the other didn't. Look, let's talk about the offense, right? Because we just kind of gave it to the defense a bit. Jay Herbo had 2 back-breaking interceptions. The first one was definitely on him. There's this issue with him in cover 2 that hasn't been figured out just yet, but he struggles against it. He was trying to hit Palmer on the backside 8 on that play, and he was just a ticker too late throwing the ball to him. If he gets that out sooner, that's 6, and an easy 6 at that. He's still an improving quarterback, second-year guy, and we love him. And for all the amazing things he does, he's not perfect, and he still has some flaws and things that he has to work his way through. Cover 2 just seems to give him problems, and I'm sure he'll figure it out. It was just another one of those games where it came back to bite him again. And that second pick, look, y'all know I'm the New Orleans native guy. I told y'all at the beginning of the season, y'all did not want Jared Cook. Every game he looks older and slower. And I told you that there's this thing with him in the clutch where if you're counting on him for anything at all, it almost never goes right. And ta-da, miscommunication, pick 6. Isn't this the second time that happened this year on a throw to him? I could be wrong. I think so. My memory, I don't know. Maybe I mentally blocked that out of my head. But look, they were able to move the ball offensively. It's just that the Texans were able to keep them off the field with heavy time of possession because they could literally do whatever they wanted to do. Run the ball. Davis Mills had all day in the pocket, little to no pressure. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that there were several guys missing, and Staley couldn't get super exotic with his defensive scheme, because if you don't have the horses on the back end or the front end, you start getting super fancy and cute up front, then you expose the stuff on the back end, and it could have been uglier than what it was. And hard to imagine that game being worse, but it could have been, believe it or not. I mean, it's hard to find rays of sunshine in this, but this is the Shamelessly Positive podcast, and that is what we're going to do. You better believe it, because this is our team. We're going to support them and back them up. And that also means finding the good in what otherwise is a complete and utter crap show. Okay, so moving forward, let's get to this bottom layer of bread, that sweet, delicious bottom layer of brioche. Just sometimes I'll just like eat a piece by itself. I don't even need anything on it. Just delectable. I love it. It's so tasty. So, for real, folks, we're not done. There are 2 division games left. I mean, got the Broncos on deck and then the Raiders. And that game against the Raiders could very well mean something. So don't give up on your freaking team, man. Look, you could be a Jets or a Giants fan. And your season, though at this point wasn't mathematically over, could have literally been over like 8 weeks ago. So come on now. We're looking at a team that's over 500 that still has an opportunity to make the playoffs. We've kind of been here before with not being able to control our own destiny, so we know what that feels like. Team just has to go out and perform. Hopefully we get some of these dudes back off the list. I'm sure we will. Mike Will won't be one of them, but that's a whole different conversation, and we are not going to broach that right now. So again, people that performed well in the game, because there were some. I mean, you had Justin Jackson signs his 1 fumble. The dude performed admirably, more than so, in replacement of Austin Eckler. Over 150 yards all purpose. So when Eck comes back, hopefully they can go ahead and get a nice little rotation of him and Jackson. And we know Jackson's a super talented guy. That's never really been a question. It's always been about durability. So hopefully he can hold it together and stay on the field. Maybe they can open the offense up a bit at the end of the season here and going into the playoffs where they utilize both of them sometimes at the same time on the field. So let's see how that works out. Then you got Josh Palmer, who had a pretty good day. Guy just keeps getting better, making good catches, running fantastic routes, and he's going to continue to improve as a wide receiver for this team. So anxious to see where his career trajectory takes him, and I think it'll work out very well. You know, I'm a fan of his. And then last but not least, Mr. Dustin Hopkins, kick man. 3 for 3 with the 50-yarder. We ain't taking that for granted. We are not accustomed to those. So, hey, thank you, sir. And we appreciate your service. And just keep it going. Let's not have this kicker thing be an issue again for a long, long time. We pray. Thank you, dear 33-year-old bearded Jesus. Please let it be. So look, folks, outside of that, end of the year is here. Let's support our team. Stop saying crazy stuff on Twitter about your coach. It's nasty. Cut it out. I've seen some of those comments. Be better. It's football. It's a game. We're all invested and we're passionate about it. If anyone knows that, your boy does. Because after games like this, typically, I'll punch a hole in whatever is tangible within my general vicinity. And my wife will get mad at me, and then I'll replace it, and then we'll move on with life. So if anyone can get through it, well, I'm sorry. You can get through it if I can. Because for me, most oftentimes when we have experiences such as the one we had on Sunday, it doesn't go well for me in my house. Take it for what it's worth. Anywho, let's keep it pushing. Oh, guys, my question for this week. Who do you think this team is? Was Sunday an aberration? Or do you think, and let's be honest, a lot of it did have to do with depth. But what team do you think we are moving forward, I guess is the better question. What level of consistency do you think we'll see in the final 2 weeks going into the playoffs? Do you think they can keep it all together outside of the vid and little injuries here and there? Do you think that they pull it together and finish the season off 2-0? So I guess in a roundabout way, the real question is, do you think they finish the last 2 games 2-0? Let me know how you feel about it. I always want to know. You my guys. I appreciate your opinions. So from your boy, Mr. Bowganger Don't Bang, you know what it is. Mr. Flight Deck. Charge it to the game weekly over on YouTube. Check me out. Come holler at your boy. Till then, catch you on the next one. Okay? Love you. Bye.
Well, thank you for that delectable sandwich there, Craig. We appreciate it over here at the Charger Chat.
I also enjoyed brioche.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's
very nice.
Oh, it's
very fancy.
It's pretty hoity-toity bread, if I must say so.
Yeah. And you're the bread. You're the bread boy, right?
I know.
So.
I know. I know good bread when I see it.
Bread man. Bread man.
Yeah.
I can be the bread boy. I don't mind being a bread boy.
I'll be your bread boy.
I'll be your bread boy. All right. So this team, who are we? What are we? Obviously, we're a good team when we're healthy. When we're not, it's questionable.
I think it's clear for me. I think we're the team that almost beat the Chiefs on Thursday night. I think that's our team. I think we're also the team that beat the Chiefs at the beginning of the season. I think we're that team. I think this is a weird aberration week where we had so many guys down and we were just exposed on the defensive line and our linebacking on just getting torched on the run. I think that's what this week was. So I think you get a couple guys back, change up how you're going to game plan. We've already played the Broncos before. I think we can go win these 2 games. It's all going to come down to who is available. If we're strapped again and hurting all over the place, it's a crapshoot. But if we get a good amount of guys back on defense, I think we'll be okay. I think we're that team from Thursday.
I don't know. I don't know what it's kind of frustrating. At the end of the day, like Craig said, I'm going to support this team. I love the team. I'm not saying we suck. We're doomed. This is a curse. I hate our coach. That's not what I'm saying.
Fire everybody.
Yeah, I just really still don't know who we are because it's so inconsistent all year. I mean, we played great against the Chiefs, but we took an L. We played good against the Bengals and we got a dub. But a couple weeks before that, we played like crap against the Vikings and we played like crap against the Ravens and we played like crap against the Patriots. So it's like we have great games and then we have bad games. And then we have great games and then we have maybe a couple bad games. It's just there isn't any consistency. So to tell you like confidently, yeah, we're gonna go 2-0 and make playoffs. I can't. I don't know. If we show up and play our best football, yeah, easily we could beat both of these teams. But if we could easily lay a dud too. So like, do I have a lot of confidence in us going 2-0 and making the playoffs? No, but I'm gonna support the team in any way that I can for us to believe that will happen. But I don't know. I really still don't know what team is going to show up every Sunday.
From a coaching perspective, when Staley is being posed with this situation of having to basically kind of scramble because when we find out that these guys are inactive, it's immediate, and you got like 2 days to prepare for something completely different with different players. Do you think that now that because this is the worst that it's been all season as far as having guys unavailable from COVID?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that he's learned from this and he can prepare better for the next game, or do you think he's just like, I got to still work with what I can, and I'll try to put some lipstick on this pig and shuffle it out there and try to make it work? But Jesus, I don't know.
There's not enough time in the week to be able to come up with multiple game plans.
Right.
They're like, you can't have this is my first game plan, but if A, B, and C get COVID, then we're going to have this game plan. But if D, E, and F get sick, then we'll have this game plan. There's not enough time in the day to be able to do that. So it really is there's no way around it being a scramble if guys hit the COVID list, but it is a simplified version of everything. As soon as backups move in, everything gets simplified. Play calling gets simplified. Being able to take risks gets simplified. Blitzes get simplified. Coverages get simplified. Everything just becomes very vanilla. And that's not where when we're at our best. Everyone talked about this whole offseason leading into this season that we're best when we're multiple and we can show you one thing and play something different. You can't do that when you have guys that don't play in. They can only do one thing. There's no Derwin James out there to be multiple with. So we just get very vanilla when our depth is hurt. So yeah, our defense is not good without our studs in there.
So do you think that going into this next game where we already know that there's going to be some guys that aren't going to be able to play, having at least a week to prepare for that, do you think that that's at least a benefit in some way, or do you think Staley can?
Oh yeah. Getting guys off, they're not going to play on a Monday. You have plenty of time still to game. They haven't even met as a team yet. It's still just coaches in the office game planning right now. So it's definitely a benefit to know right now that Chris Harris, that Mike Williams, and Nas are not going to play. That's a benefit. I mean, it sucks,
right?
But it's better than them testing positive on a Thursday for sure.
Losing Mike Davis right before the game.
Right. Yeah. So having something like that happen so close to game time really just throws a monkey wrench into the whole game plan as far as like, now you're expecting, I don't even know who played in his position, to be honest with you, but whoever it was, you can't expect them to be at the same level as Mike Davis.
No,
and so everything just gets
you can't
totally
run
changed.
You can't run man. That's probably was their goal. We're going to go man-to-man. We'll say Asante and Mike Davis are going to take away their ones. We'll get everyone in the box and go make big plays. Mike gets hurt. You can't run man-to-man when you don't know who the hell is out there. So, everything could have been swapped right there at the beginning of the game. But
gotcha.
Yeah, it sucks, but we still, honestly, still should have won that game.
Should have.
Like, there's no excuse for not winning that game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, just now that we know how bad it can get for losing guys on COVID, having some time to try to prep for this next upcoming game against a division rival.
Yeah.
Staley can show off some of those Wunderkind attributes and bring it this Sunday. So, all right. Well, Craig, that was kind of a longer answer than I think we all expected, but thank you again, as always, for coming on and dishing out these delicious sandwiches again.
I love it. While we're talking about it, Popper just tweeted Austin Eckler, Tavon Campbell, and Joe Gaziano have been activated off the COVID-19 list. So we're getting players back, boys.
There we go.
Slowly but surely.
It's a start.
It's a start. I'll take it.
All right. Well, thank you, Craig, again. And now it is time to go on to Ask Boltfam. Let's start with Ask Boltfam.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy. All right, gang. Well, now it is time for Ask Boltfam. And there were a lot. There were quite a few.
Some saucy
there
takes.
were some saucy takes out there. And I just want to say for Ask Boltfam folks, if you can, pretty please, it's called Ask Boltfam. I want to be asked something. I don't want this to be a place to vent your feelings and emotions, your raw sense of emotions. If you want to do that, I recommend going to chargerchat.com and checking out some of the forums over there and chatting it up with other Charger Chat members. Get some takes, because I think you guys have a lot of really good takes out there. I think you guys make a lot of really good points, but it's not really Ask Boltfam. There's no question mark in any of those questions. So,
and if you have a long take, just bury a question in there.
Just squeeze a question in there. I don't mind it if it's long, but just keep it tight and keep it with and make sure there's at least
like a tiger.
Toit like a tiger, and just one little question mark. So please, that's all I'm asking for. All right. Well, let's start this Ask Boltfam off with CD, aka C3,
certified,
who asked the question. When watching nature shows, how do y'all feel about the prey escaping the hunt, but then the predator not being able to eat? Such a roller coaster of emotion. Like being a Bolt fan. Let's hear it.
All right. I always root for the underdog. I always root for the prey to escape. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not eating? That sucks. You should have gotten him. Too bad. Maybe that's why I'm a game fan. That's a Charger fan. Always rooting for the underdog.
Yes. Man, we typically tend to be that.
Yeah.
Is it like the one that I really don't root for is those crocodiles and alligators, because they're assholes and you just get the cute little thing by the water
drinking
and they're just like, ooh, let me just quench my thirst and just ooh, I'm a little thirsty, and then you're dead.
Surprise,
from a dinosaur. Dinosaur attack.
Yeah.
Thanks, alligators. You suck, crocodiles.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our answer, CD. Thank you.
But yeah, the Chargers should be hunting, and we shouldn't feel bad.
I know,
about
that's
them.
what's crazy. When I first heard that, I was like, yeah, the Chargers should have annihilated the Texans. They should have been our prey, but they got away. They scampered off, and we sat there hungry.
Eat their entrails on our tummies.
Yeah.
There you go, CD. That's our answer. Thank you for asking the question.
Thanks for joining us for the first time too.
Yeah, big time. Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question. That wasn't the result we all wanted or expected, but don't give up, Bolt fam. It's not over yet. It'll be harder to make the playoffs, but it's not impossible, especially the way that this season has gone already. Chins up, everyone. We can do this. Bolt up. K, love you, bye. Yeah, Gavin, it's absolutely, you're right. It is not impossible. It's going to be harder.
We've talked about the path required to get there, and it's reasonable path. There's still
the Dolphins
teams we
did
need
win,
to lose. They did
win
The
tonight.
Dolphins did win.
But
We
it's
did
okay.
see
They
that.
still got 2
okay.
games, and
They got
that's
2 games.
probably the one team that I'm most think that they're probably going to lose one of their upcoming
They've
games.
won 6 in a row now. All right, 7 in a row.
That's not helping what I'm trying to say. But
Dude, the Dolphins started 1-7, and they're now 8-7.
no, fair enough. I don't know where to go with this because I'm kind of in a corner.
I'll follow up. That's okay. Again, this is an example of a beautiful non-question that we love and appreciate, but a question at the end, and then we can have a little bit more
question.
dialogue.
Yeah.
A little question.
Just a little
Question
one.
boo.
Doesn't have to be a long one, just a little one. Okay, that's all we're talking about. But we love it, Gavin. Thank you for
Way to be
reminding
shamelessly
us.
positive, my guy.
Yes, to be
It's
shamelessly
not
positive.
impossible. We're going.
Yes. All right, let's move it on to another one. Okie Doggy, who asked the question.
Do any of you fellas listen to music leading into a game? And if so, which songs do you end up playing the most? Also, what do you guys do in case of a loss like this past week? Do you play inspirational music, watch a movie, drink, etc.? And fuck the donkeys.
Donkey.
I got mine locked and reloaded. If you want to hear them,
let's hear them.
I got answers to both of these.
Okay,
fire away. Good questions, Okie Doggy.
I listened to this while we're getting ready to roll. Is Foo Fighters? All my life. All my life, I've been searching for something. Something never comes in. I just want to murder something when I hear that song. So that's my.
And then you get to sit on your couch and just watch.
Just by myself, just headbanging. I really need to start. I need to find more Charger fans to be in a room.
Start a chapter of the Die Hard Bowl Club.
I'm trying to get Wooly to move out here. I'm working on it because then he can be sitting next to me and we can headbang together.
That would be interesting.
Okay, and what's your follow-up in case of a loss?
I fall asleep and watch Brian's song on my computer with my headphones on.
I go to bed.
The saddest football story of all time makes me feel a little less bad about what just happened to my team.
That's really
so
sad.
do you watch what's your mindset when you watch Brian's song? Are you just like, well, thank God we're not that? Or do you go like
pretty much like
thank
it
God
could
no one
be
died.
worse.
Yeah.
It's really like it could be worse.
Wow.
Brian's song.
That's really dark,
Could
dude.
be worse.
Really dark.
All right. Well, anything different there, Kyle, as far as either what you prep yourself or how do you pick yourself up?
Hey, Macarena. Hey.
Almost polar opposite. So Sunday mornings, I'm usually at church, so the music is probably some kind of worship.
Sure,
Not
yeah.
Foo Fighters when he kill someone.
Sure, I like it.
And then after the game, I
Foo.
definitely need like an hour alone. My wife interrupted that hour alone this week, and it didn't turn out well for our communication skills. So yeah, I need like an hour.
That was so vague. What does that mean?
So I came downstairs. The game was over. I come downstairs. Our boys are both napping, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have some alone time to just process and think about what happened. Maybe text you guys and have some time to like decompress. And she came down, and I was still frustrated, and things didn't go well.
Okay.
And I ended up turning into cleaning the whole house. I took down our Christmas tree, took down all the lights, cleaned up everything.
How many of those
It was
survived?
Over
spiral, yeah.
How many bulbs broke and ornaments smashed in
You
the
know what?
process?
We'll find out next year.
Open that box. You just remember that. The Texans
If none
game.
of the lights turn on next year, there's broken bulbs as of Sunday.
Thanks, Houston. Thanks, Burkhead.
Yeah,
wow.
Thanks. Burkhead.
I mean, I got to go into it, with Thunderstruck. I have to like that. I'm dry. I always watch the game with my parents if I can. If I'm not at the game, watching it in person, I'm at my folks and enjoying it with my dad. And I'm listening to Thunderstruck on the way in. And on the way out, it's just silence in my car. I'm just driving
That's
home.
probably
just
the
like,
best. Yeah. Just
what
thinking.
I'm thinking about like my grocery list. Like, what do I got to get?
Yeah.
Like, what do I got to pick up?
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's just, you got to
Didn't you
just try to think of something else.
Last year when shit was really down in the dumps, I remember you sending us a video.
You
driving,
sent us a very
listening.
funny video. Too.
Well,
What was
because
the song?
that was Mad World the Gary
you were
Jules.
in your feels, and yet there was like dark and like the sodium vapor lights were moving over your car.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
and I find it kind of funny.
kind of sad. Shit.
Yeah, you got to find a way to laugh, folks. You got to find a way to put on a comedy or something. Just try to remind yourself that it's not the end of the world, and it's
You know what
okay.
also works? Man on Fire with Denzel Washington. He kills a lot of people, and it's pretty entertaining. So it'll pump you up a little bit.
Okay,
Kevin, talking a lot about killing people.
Yeah,
a lot of murder,
a lot of murder, a lot of death, and apparently that makes Kevin feel better.
Yeah, let's do some inner self-reflection here, Kev.
Maybe later.
There you go. All right, Okie Doggy, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Patrick Morgan.
Maybe later.
It's a revenge story. Revenge.
Patrick Morgan has a question. It goes like this. How do we stay shamelessly positive? I put up my flags and banners and filled the shot glasses and tried to fight the curse, but it seems to follow us everywhere. What rituals do we have to exercise the demons? Nay!
I think I got to burn my Herbert socks. I think that might be my problem.
No. Here's what I think we all need to
Wash
do. We all
them,
need to
maybe.
realize that we have no say in this and that none of our superstitions work. Because if they did, we would have won a Super Bowl by now.
I disagree.
No.
Because I'm doing the wrong thing when we lose the games that need to happen, Kyle.
You're sick.
Pull your head
You're
out.
so stupid.
Pull your
Anyways,
head out.
I think there needs to be some kind of definition and classification to shamelessly
Oh,
positive.
I know what happened.
What?
I got a California burrito. They forgot the guacamole.
Motherfucker.
Did it. That's what did it.
What about against the Chiefs? Did you have guacamole on your burrito?
No, I didn't have a carne asada burrito. California burrito. I'm
So maybe
telling
it is
you,
your
no
fault,
burrito,
dipshit.
no guac.
What about the Vikings
So we're 2
game?
for 2. Yeah. Let's dig a little deeper.
Let's go
What
through
happened?
these games.
I'm pretty sure there was pico on the California burrito for the Vikings game, and that also doesn't fucking work.
Whoa.
It's got to be a California burrito with just guacamole.
Whoa.
Kevin,
We got
Sunday,
to the bottom of it.
Before you leave the restaurant, you need to check what's in
No,
the
I'm going to go
burrito.
into the back and I'm going to watch them make my burrito.
You're going to go in the
properly.
back. I'm going to hop over the counter. I'm going to stand
jump into
over
the
chef's
drive-through
shoulder.
window. Yeah. Chargers are counting on you making this properly, bitch. Do it.
Or you just make it at home so you make sure that's right.
Oh, that'll throw everything off. That will
Kyle,
lose out if we
you're
do
not,
that.
You're not understanding how this works.
You're going to throw everything off.
Yeah. Blowing it, Kyle.
I'm sorry. I don't believe in this superstition.
Yeah, I don't. It's not bad juju, man. It just.
It's fun to think you have a say
It is
in it,
fun.
but
Yeah,
you
I
don't.
get what you're saying, but
Yep.
wash your underwear, turn it around the right way.
Yeah. Clean your socks.
Clean your socks for Pete's sake, for everyone's
we need a
sake.
fresh start.
Yeah,
Eat healthy. Take care of yourself.
right.
We don't need to do anything crazy.
Yeah,
And don't
take
let
care
them
of
forget
yourself.
the guacamole.
Yeah.
God bless you if you forget the
Yeah.
guacamole.
Always add
Don't you fucking do
guacamole.
it.
Don't you do it. All right, Patrick
Guacamole.
Morgan, thank you for
Good
asking
question.
the question. Great question. Let's move it on now to House of Hain. And shout
Oh.
out to Scotty B63. You guys both pretty much asked the same question, but I'm going with House of Hain. And it goes like this. I say, we shit the bed real bad, like really good, son. So good that there are no words. Coach, was it lack of depth? I say, Pep Hamilton's knowledge of 10, Smith's D that brought on this. I say, ass beaten. We better show out for Denver. I need to see a win at the last home game. I say, kid, love you, bye.
Are you going to the game, coach?
Yeah. I'll be there with my wife and my boys.
Oh, good. Dude, I think that's the ritual.
The Hillary
Every
Juju.
time you've taken your wife, we've won.
Hillary is very, very lucky.
Ooh.
She's a very lucky person. So we might need to start a GoFundMe to get Hillary to,
Guys, there's no
to the playoff
superstition,
games.
but I'm
To
bringing my
Vegas.
wife.
Yeah. I don't believe in superstition, but my wife legitimately is very lucky.
She wins everything. Whenever
wins
there's a raffle or something, she
She'll
wins
win.
it.
Yeah.
Always.
And she knows too when she's gonna win. She like has this weird feeling. When we went to the Steelers game, we walked into the stadium and she's like, we're gonna win this game. And like crazy stuff started happening. We started playing bad. They came back. She's like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. We're gonna find a way to win. She knew without, she's like some kind of fortune teller prophet.
How about them
this
rituals
stuff.
now, Cal?
I know, but she really is that lucky.
If it works, it works.
It works. It
Yeah,
works.
I don't
So,
think
game.
the result I think it was a lack of depth. I think our depth was very much exposed. This was like Adam said at the beginning of the episode. I'm sorry, Wooly, for those of you that don't know that his first name is Adam. Like Wool Dog. Like Wool Dog said,
gotta get out of here.
It was like a preseason game. It's backups versus backups, and their backups were better than ours.
Yeah,
they just kind of beat the hell out of us up front. Our defensive line is not deep at all. We know that. The whole beginning of the season, we had no ability to stop the run, and then we got a couple of key pieces back, and it got better. So those guys got to be healthy up front for us to have a chance.
Yeah,
and it was weird too because Braden and Forrest Merrill didn't get a lot of snaps, and when they were in there, they were making tackles. So I think it was also choosing just because you're a first rounder. Sorry, I don't know why.
Whoa, that was a good. That has some twang to it.
You're first rounder.
Because you're a first rounder doesn't mean you always have to play.
You ain't got to always play the first rounders.
First rounder is his first rounder is.
Daggum.
Shit.
Okay, where were we going?
Yeah, that threw us way off.
It, yeah.
I think he answered it. That it was just lack of depth.
That was crazy. That sound for those 10 seconds we were all talking at the same time, just saying ridiculous. Probably making fun of Southerners the whole time.
It opens a portal somewhere.
Gosh, sorry to anyone that we offended with those accents and impersonations.
Yeah, we never mean to offend here at the Charger Chat podcast, but House of Hayne
Chiefs fans.
Yes, just Chiefs fans.
House
of Hayne and Scotty B63. Thank you for asking the question.
Yeah.
Let's move it on now to Stu Chains.
Certified fresh?
What are we doing here, guys? What do we do here?
Who asked the question? Is losing at the half to a 3-11 team not an emergency enough to bring Darwin on?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
We texted it in our group chat. Yeah.
We texted each other. I feel like this is like a pull the ripcord, send them in. We need help.
That last series, right? After we scored that touchdown, we drove down. We needed a stop. We're like, just throw them in there for 3 plays, and I know that we can stop them.
Throw them on those third and longs that
yeah. Just
please, like when they make that happen, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, it's just hard. It's going to be like a Booby Miles Friday Night Lights gets just blown up. Something catastrophic.
Yeah, that one
happens.
play he's out there. Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, as a coach, Brandon Staley wanted to put him in there the whole game. He was dying to, but now we have 2 games, hopefully with a fully healthy Derwin to go win.
He better be fully healthy. I pray to God he better be fully healthy. Yeah, we feel you, Stu Chains, but thank you for asking the question. Move it on now to Salty Sports Guy, who asked the question. It kept being pointed out today that we are the worst third down defense in the NFL. Obviously, that trend continued. What specific thing is the defense doing or not doing to be so vulnerable to third down conversions?
It's the it's the distance. It's the down and distance. They're all third and shorts. Because our run defense
I don't know,
is
dude.
not very
Those
good.
third and longs
they were converting on 6s and 7s like it was nothing.
or double digits, man. Like it was like, come on.
It's a weird feeling watching this third down defense. Like it really is, because I have no confidence. I remember like at the end there of the game, I was like, we can do this. It was like 3rd and 5. Like we got to hold them. And then it was just like a quick little slant, easy catch. Not like you were saying many episodes ago, like the way that we're playing these coverages, it just opens it up for first downs. Like it just feels like it's just these dump passes, just like these really quick, easy, pass and catches they're killing us, and it's stressful.
It is stressful.
I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, there are some conversions of those medium to long, but I think the season long average being low is because our run defense is bad. Because they get into
I think
third
you're definitely
advantage.
right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough when you can't stop the run and they only have a couple of yards to get. It's like, yeah, they're probably going to run it. Yeah. So Salty Sports Guy, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bubba Duke 84, who asked the question. How is Staley's defense worse than Gus Bradley's? Giving up more yardage and TDs? It's a head scratcher. That is for sure. It's I don't know if I don't know if it has. I feel like I'm trying to come up with an excuse, and I'm not. But at the same time, it's like it's his first year with the team. We've got guys that get injured or get on COVID, and I know that this is a full year that you're looking at right now, or year to date, as far as having worse D as far as yards and touchdowns that we're giving up. But
I think in general, like the secondary play is better, and not this last week was brutal, but leading up to this week, our secondary play has been better in general in terms of like giving up big plays. I just remember like getting torched all the time in Gus Bradley's defense with the cover 3. So like I think it's just like we had talked about earlier, like the run defense is just brutal.
Right.
Like they got to figure out what this is and why this is happening so easily.
I think it's hard. The take of our secondary is really good and our run game is not good. We don't know, because if our run defense was good, teams would throw more, but they don't have to because they can run the ball.
Right.
So like if our passing allowed yards is low, that's only because teams don't have to do it. They're just going to run the ball on you. So I think we're feeling the pains of going to a too high safety look. It's just the reality of what it is. When you go too high safeties, you bring somebody out of the box, teams are going to run the ball. I didn't know that the stats were that close or that bad, as far as in correlation or in like comparison to the Raiders.
Yeah.
But it sucks. Yeah. I mean, let's just stop comparing to other coaches. I mean, why are we going to look at, hey, Gus Bradley is better? It doesn't matter. This is our team. This is who we got. We're not playing good. We know that. It needs to get better. Coach knows that.
Coach knows that. And I don't know. It's hard to give an exact pinpoint as far as to what the reason is or how it's happening, but it is. So I know that the coach is aware of it. There's no way he can't be aware of it. So, you got to trust that they're going to come up with a game plan and get better. There's still 2 games. Maybe it can shift
maybe more
in the right direction as far as the stats are concerned. But Bubba Duke, thank you.
It's not encouraging as far as where we're at right now, but we have faith that it'll get better.
We do. You got to have faith. Bubba Duke, 84.
The faith.
Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Staley's Nuts and Bolts. Who asked the question?
Fresh? Maybe fresh? No.
I love this team. I love this team, even though they suck sometimes. Free agency is so tempting, but we still have some time. Can you answer me a question? Why did we let Hamilton go? And now what do you know about Joe Reed? Little Frozen.
I love it.
A movie I fucking hate. But hey, anything for you, Staley's Nuts and Bolts. So, why did we let Hamilton go, and what's going on with Joe Reed?
I don't think it matters because our quarterback is a Pro Bowler starter.
Yeah, quarterback play is not the issue.
Not even close to the fucking issue here.
He's still breaking records. He's still won FedEx
he threw for
Air Play of the Week.
330 yards last week.
Right.
He's about to break Phil's touchdown record in a single season.
Right.
We're not to come across as like, dude, what the fuck? But
no, the defense, the quarterback play is not the problem.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Pep Hamilton is not. Shane Day is doing a hell of a job.
Yeah. Pep Hamilton is a great coach, and we've seen now back-to-back season where he took a rookie and
good for him.
Has led them to play successfully.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But
good for him. Hopefully,
our quarterback play is not what's keeping us.
Maybe he'll coach the Jaguars. Maybe
there you go.
They should give him a head coaching job. Let something happen.
Yeah,
down there.
I mean, he's clearly at least a rookie quarterback whisperer of some kind. And as far as Joe Reed, I mean, I can't remember. Did we let him go? And is he back on the practice squad? I feel like that was the situation that we let him go, but he's still kind of hanging around in the hallway somewhere.
I think I don't think he's going to be on this team next year. I don't think it's really a thing
anymore. Yeah. As far as next year, no, I don't. No. I doubt it.
Yeah. If he wasn't pulled up for this game where we had so many guys out, I don't think the likelihood of him.
They were playing French and some of these other guys.
Bandy.
Bandy hadn't even really. They weren't drafted.
Yeah.
Joe Reed was, and he's not there. I think that says all you need to say.
Yeah, he's
about
on
that.
the practice squad and it's kind of stuck there.
Yep. So there you go. Staley's Nuts and Bolts. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to JV, who asked the question.
Here's something I don't understand. When the Chargers beat a really good team, nobody says anything. Hoo-ha! But the moment we lose to a bad team, everyone and their mother wants to talk shit about the Chargers. Oh, well, I guess. Bolt up.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when we win, that's a fluke. When we lose, it's like, yeah, that's the Chargers.
It's expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with this game, I think everyone, including myself, thought we were going to walk in and it was going to be a nice, easy Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Easy like Sunday morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy like Sunday morning.
No.
And it just makes the reality set in even harder and harsher than losing a close game to the Chiefs when that's a perennial team that's probably, we should be battling with. We shouldn't lose to games like this to the Texans. So that's what I see why people talk shit. And a lot of people are like, trying to be positive about it and being yelled at for being too negative, and then people telling them you can't tell me how to be a fan.
There's no way to correctly act.
No.
React how you want, what's best
Exactly.
for you, and being a fan and in the longevity of your fandom, that's how you should react. Who cares what other people say?
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. JV, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Lexi M, who asked the question. To be on the positive side, even though the game did not go well, this is our first season with this team, and Staley has already shown he is dedicated to doing the best. We could be last year and have Lynn make excuses and blame players, but we don't. We have a coach who dares to care and take responsibility when things go wrong and give credit to the players when things go great. That's what a true leader does. Also, remember, we should get everyone back this week for Denver, which means they should come out fighting. Go get that W. K love you, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the one thing that I'm seeing people hating on Staley now after this, like, no, guys,
that's not it. That's
like,
not the move. Yeah.
That's not it at all. And people saying some pretty, like Craig had mentioned, some pretty awful shit. Like,
just like these are the same fans that want to talk crap to new Charger fans, and just stop being a fan.
Right.
This can't be fun. You're not enjoying it. Just stop watching the team.
Right. Well, don't fight with other fans over like whether you think they suck or not. Like that doesn't help anything, really.
No.
Like it's just we're all on the same team, so let's act like it. God damn it. I think I think we should be thankful to have Staley. I think Staley has shown to be very aggressive. Has helped Herbert get to where he is in this season, where he's about to, like Kevin just said, break Phillip Rivers' all-time, season touchdown record in his second year.
And I think honestly, like we put a lot of money and effort and all that resources into making our offense better, and our offense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think next year when we have a lot of extra money.
And our coach that's a defensive minded
is going to start
what he wants.
Get the guys in that are going to be able to bring that level up to this offense's level. I think that is what we're going to happen, what we're going to see.
Right.
People trying to say, this is just my point of view. People trying to say Telesco's done, Telesco's gone. Telesco's not done, Telesco's not gone.
He might be.
I don't think he's gone.
I think he might be. I'm not the one out there saying it, but I think he might be. I think Sunday exposed the lack of depth. And he's been the GM now for long enough, and we've not been successful enough. I think he very well could be gone.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
Based on what?
I just don't think it's going to happen. Not just in the middle of doing this. 8-7, we're better than we were last year. We have a new coach. He's made good draft picks recently. I know a lot of people say I'm an idiot, but fine. I don't think those two guys are going anywhere. They just got started with this new coach in him. They're not going to, that's just not going to happen.
Well, we know what happens. We know what happens when you feel strongly about something in free agency.
It tends to go the opposite.
Those of you that don't like Tom Telesco are going to get what you want.
we will have to wait and see. But
Who would be your least favorite new GM, Kevin? Let's hear that, because that'll be the guy.
I don't really have my finger in the GM search. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not really fingered into that, so
Just
I don't know what the temperature is on
Just
GMs.
let Brandon Staley be GM head coach. Yeah,
There you go.
Kyle,
Two hats.
Could smack you in the face.
All right. Hey, Lexi
dare
M,
you.
thank you for reminding us to be shamelessly positive about
And
everything
start
going on.
a fight between Kyle and I.
And
Love you,
start a
Lexi.
fight
Thank you.
between the brothers. Love it. All right, let's move it on now to Senora Snappy. who
Oh,
asked the
Senora.
question. Yes, Senora. Please, for the love of all things that are Chargers holy, what will it take for you all to band together for gameplay commentary? I cannot tell you how few shits I didn't give when the commentators kept gushing over Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles. Good God, y'all. Should we have, to see the same roster during the last 2 games? What do you all suggest for Coach Staley to coach well, all right? K-Love you, bye. Yeah, the Simone Biles was holy shit. I get it. She's there, but come on. You were talking more about her than the guy that was actually making the play.
That was the narrative. They found it and they wouldn't give it
They
up.
would not let it go. That was like a
No.
dog with a bone. You couldn't get it out of their mouth.
Couldn't take it out of their mouth. Nope. Couldn't happen.
But hey, what advice can we give to Coach Staley to coach better? Who better than us, right?
get better players. Put your players in bubbles and just practice on Skype, and let's all be there without COVID. I don't know. I really don't know.
What about those suits with the bubble boy, where they're literally in a bubble and they can run around? I think that's
I'm sure that's good practice.
Or just Ghostbuster suits, something with some kind of suit. We need some suits.
We need some suits.
With
We're gonna make
helmets.
this
need to suit
sci-fi
up.
movie at practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think it's coaching.
Or when does it become a bubble? Do you see playoff teams just going straight? We're not seeing people of the outside. We're gonna be in a hotel room together.
You might.
We're not doing anything in the playoffs.
So, question: what does the NFL do if an entire team gets COVID?
I think
they have
forfeit.
to postpone the game. Do they forfeit?
I think you're
that's
at
what
that
they
point
said at the
now.
beginning of the season, but that's not what they've done lately. I don't know.
So my question is, do we tempt that fate? Do we get everyone in a room together, start coughing on each other?
No,
Get this rolling.
No, I think they would cut. That would be a forfeit if we had that many guys out.
Yeah, no, that's not the right move. But hey,
should've-
you're thinking.
Looking
I
back
like it.
now, we should have rolled the
I'm thinking
dice with the
outside the
Texans.
box. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying, Kyle?
I was saying that if you were going to do that time is come and gone. If one of the last 2 weeks, those L's, you could have taken that L. Everyone coughed on each other. The whole team gets COVID, and then we're all immune and we're ready for the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't.
We're not
yeah.
doctors or anything,
No,
but it sounds like it should work.
Don't
No.
take any advice from us,
Yeah.
medical or otherwise.
Yeah.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. But
Yeah, that was very much an ESPN the Ocho kind of thing.
Senior Snappy, thank
But
you.
she also She also asked about us doing live commentary.
I mean, honestly, we have such a hard time trying to sync things up. We've had times where we've kind of tried that, and it's one of us goes, yeah, and the other guy goes, wait, what happened? They didn't see it happen yet.
Yeah,
so it's
I
tough
think-
when we're spread out like this.
If we
I
were
think
together,
we could probably do it. I don't know if it's going to happen this season. I think it's something we want to do. We just got to
Oh
work
yeah,
it, work
I would
it
love
out.
to do it. It's just on the technical side, it's just been tough to kind of get everybody synced up correctly to the point that games aren't ruined.
We'll figure. I will tell you this. I think there will be a live stream at some point in the future. And if you want to hang out with us while we say stupid shit, that will be available.
Okay.
IMO.
This is news to me, Senora Snappy. You heard it
See
here
that?
first.
Certified.
All right. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Jerry Boas,
Certified fresh.
who asked the question. Do the Chargers need to add some veteran coaches to this young and inexperienced coaching staff?
I love the old man voice. That was so perfect for that question.
There's so many young people out there. They're all
Did you say young buck in that
experienced. You
voice?
young buck. Well, I mean, I don't that I don't think so.
It's not a simple yes or no, I think. You can add some veteran coaches, but you have to get the right veteran coaches. It's hard to bring in an experienced, been in the league a long time guy and him be humble enough to submit himself to a really young coach. That can be really difficult because, as you know, if you've been around older coaches and the newer age coaches, the philosophy is just very different on how you approach things. And for a veteran coach, that can lead to a lot of frustration. So it's not always a healthy work or a just quick and simple, put some veteran coaches on your staff and everything's going to work great. If you can find the right ones, yeah, it can be really helpful. Ron Meeks, who was the defensive coordinator for the Colts when they went to the Super Bowl, he coached with me at Del Norte High School here in San Diego. I was the varsity defensive coordinator as like a 22-year-old kid, had no business really doing it. But his son, Quentin, was on my team. And Ron, because he had just gotten let go from the Chargers, he was the Chargers DB coach. He still had a year under contract with the Chargers, and he wanted his son to finish school in San Diego. So he was just retired, hanging out in San Diego, came on and helped on my staff. And he was my DB coach as I was the D coordinator. And he was the most humble, do what I like. We would have discussion and I go, Coach, this is not really what I want to do with the team. He'd be like, okay, let's do it. So I just think it's hard to find those kinds of guys. Ron, to me, I learned so much from just the way that he was humble and allowed me to be a coach, even though he knew so much more than about football than I did.
Did he win a Super Bowl?
He was a Super Bowl champion defensive coordinator. Here I am, a nobody.
But what do you think?
But those Ron Meekses don't grow on trees. Not everyone in the game has that kind of humility. You bring in a veteran coach, a lot of the times they're going to bring in that much experience with baggage, with I know what's best, with all those types of things. So simply saying we need veteran coaches to help our staff get better, it's not always the case.
When we do have Giff Smith is a veteran guy. He's been there a long time. Like there are some guys there. They're not all just, we have made jokes about how young the staff is in the median age, but
it's not a bad thing.
I think Kyle, you have the best insight on that. So that makes total sense to me.
You just have to have a healthy coaching staff that wants to work together and is all about the betterment of the team, not just themselves. If you get guys on your staff that just want to pad their stats so they can get a better job somewhere else, that's where things get unhealthy. And I don't think that it doesn't matter if that's a veteran or a first-time coach. You just need guys on the same wavelength with the same philosophy that want to coach the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just pulling up the website, Joe Lombardi, 15 years experience, Ronaldo Hill, 13 years experience, Darius Swinton, 11 years experience. So he's surrounding himself with coordinators that do have experience.
Yeah, they're not
How
60,
old, though?
70
We're talking
years
about
old.
30, 40 years of experience. We're talking about some old shit.
Well, I just said Joe Lombardi, 15 years, Ronaldo Hill, 13 years.
No, but what I'm saying is how much older do we need?
This
when
question,
do you truly
what are we
become
talking
wise?
about with veteran coaches?
Yeah.
We need some from back in the AFL days, apparently, in order to to be enough. But hey, Jerry Bose, thank you for asking the question.
Take. Yeah.
Interesting
it's
take.
a potential fix. Maybe they'll look into it.
Let's move it on now to JTex 33. Who asked the question?
Seeing that K9 was terrible at the edge position, is there hope for him as part of our future? Also, how do you think ASJ did today? Yeah.
Do you know what was shocking to me about the whole Kenneth Murray thing? Drew Tranquil goes down. You don't see Kenneth Murray bump back in a middle backer position. They went to Ogbong Bamiga.
Yeah.
Well, that was something that kind of popped in my head as well. Is like, okay, well, Joey Bosa goes down. I mean, obviously depth is an issue at that position.
Right.
So you put Kenneth Murray
out.
in and Fackrell was out as well. God dang it. K9 goes in. Do you just keep him in because like there is absolutely nobody else that can even attempt to play that position?
Maybe, but he wasn't doing good. So
no, but it's like, I don't know.
Where he wasn't drafted to do that though. That wasn't his position. No, but like when the position that you played in college really becomes available, they instead go with an undrafted guy in that position for the game.
Yeah, but Adam is saying
a lot.
Adam was saying, is that because there was no one else to put on the outside? Is it just like the drop off was that much more significant on the outside?
Lack of Bosa and Fackrell.
And maybe that does play a part. I do think that there is concern about what is Kenneth Murray going to play? Maybe he's still hurt. Maybe that ankle thing that he was dealing with at the beginning of the year is still playing a part. But there's no confidence in what position he is. It seems like a scramble to get him on the field somehow because he was a first round pick. But that edge with what we saw on Sunday, that ain't it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and I pointed out to you guys a couple weeks ago, like in the mic'd up, he just doesn't seem very happy, that guy. Like they did the Joey Bosa mic'd up and he's like celebrating on the sideline, like praise the sun god and all that stuff. And if you look behind him over his shoulder, K9's sitting there looking like we didn't just score a massive touchdown before the halftime. So I think there might be something even deeper going on with Kenneth Murray stuff. And he clearly doesn't feel like he has a place to get comfortable and get suited, to be a really an asset for the team, and that's not good because he's another first round pick. So
who picked him, Kev? What?
Kyle, I know I was about to say that. Shut up. Not only did pick him, we traded up for him. But
he had a really good rookie season when Drew Tranquil went down.
Playing in a specific scheme.
Playing in a very specific scheme. You're right.
Feels a little lost in this scheme. I think that's what the thing is.
So I think they're needing to figure out how to utilize his talents maybe a little bit more. I don't know if that's a simple task.
Maybe it takes a year.
Yeah, and maybe it takes a year. But I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that his head's not in the game. The camera's not on him 24/7. I've seen him hyping up the team. And he had Nwosu was sitting right next to him, and Nwosu wasn't celebrating either.
He smiled. He was excited. I go back and look at that video again, and there was something weird when you look at what Justin did. I'm talking about the throw, the one where he got hit
what you're talking
about. The best throw of the season.
I understand.
And he's sitting on the bench, not excited. And I think in terms of a team chemistry and energy, you probably, if you're not worried about what you're doing and what your personal thing is, what the next series is going to be, and are you going to get on the field? Like, there was some grumpiness going on, is what I noticed.
Okay.
Maybe I'm off base, but it was weird that happened right when Herbert threw that massive touchdown pass and the entire stadium exploded.
Well, maybe he just got chewed out by his position coach. And
maybe that's what it was. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, maybe he stepped on a rock. Who knows?
Which also ties into the thing that maybe he's not doing so great and not really sure where he belongs. So it all kind of ties together.
At the end of the day, K9's going to be here next year. They're not going to
find a way to use him.
So they're going to figure out ways to get him on the field some way, somehow. So it'll be cool to see how they do it in the next couple of weeks as guys get healthy. Maybe you can get back in the middle a little bit here if Drew's too banged up to go full speed.
Yeah.
And as far as ASJ, I mean, seemed okay. I mean, the pass interference was rough.
That was, he didn't turn around on that. Dude, he's been out for a long time.
I know. Yeah.
You can't just come back and get back to game playing speed that quickly. So I think he had a couple in the beginning, and then it kind of wasn't. We weren't calling his name later on. So I think it just takes. Hopefully he's warmed up and get ready for this next week.
There you go. JTex33, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to the Equalizer.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question.
To Mr. Motherfucking Wool Dog, this question is for you, my boy. If the coach and Kev were hanging by one arm from a cliff, who would you save and who would you let fall? Oh, and before I forget, fuck the Raiders and fuck that pussy-ass Cam Hayward for punching our QB. I'm still not over that.
Same.
This question comes up once every 5 or 6 episodes. I feel like.
So,
and it's always me dying. So stop asking.
I know. So everybody, I would let Kyle fall, but if it were up to me, I would sacrifice myself and let them both live. So, but if you
I'm sorry if you didn't hear. I'm happy if you are certified fresh, I believe.
This was one of the questions from the chargerchat.com site. So yes.
We are happy to have you, but this is a little bit like opening an old wound that's been healed. I got awesome Christmas gift from Wooly, but now he just told me that he would kill me again. So
feel free in the next 4 or 5 week Equalizer to ask the question again. Keep that wound nice and open.
Yeah, Kevin needs a couple of victories in his life.
I'll
take them wherever I can get them.
Thank you, the Equalizer, you certified fresh son of a bitch, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Robbie Menendez. Certified fresh. Who asked the question.
Muchachos! How do the Bolts respond to this kind of loss? What are our biggest weaknesses and how are we going to overcome them? A lot on the line these next 2 weeks. Bolt gods, don't fail us now.
That's right, Bolt God. We need
That's
you.
right.
Get to that game. Get loud.
Gotta shore everything up and come out with the right game plan with the players that you have. It's what it sounds like to me, based off talking to my brothers here. This episode is got to work with what you have, and you got to make it work.
The two things I want to see that I really want to see these next 2 weeks is better run defense and winning the turnover battle.
Yeah,
those are
we
the
can't
two
turn the
things
ball over
we
3
need to. We cannot turn the ball over anymore. It can't happen.
Yeah.
We just do not win these games if we turn the ball over, especially if we turn it over first. We lose all momentum and everything gets all f***ed up. So run defense, please keep them under 100 yards the way you've done it the last couple weeks. This is just a weird ass game. And then turnover battle. That's, I think, what you do that, we'll be humming.
Thank you, Robbie Menendez, for asking the question. Let's move on now to Fuego Wave.
Certified fresh? No.
Yeah.
Dadgum.
And
you tell me, is he certified fresh, Bulldog?
I don't care anymore. Shout out to Diehard Bolt fan as well. You both asked the same question, but I'm going with Fuego Wave. And it goes like this.
Not gonna lie, we lost, but dagnabbit, it's really not as bad as that score makes it seem. We were in the game for a majority of it, but damn, our weaknesses are hella exposed when we are missing our entire f***ing secondary. Not to mention the fact we let a select few names run the ball so far down our throats that we were practically shitting out the ball. But I believe this should be a huge wake-up call to get their shit together so we can pull through and make the playoffs. I still personally think we are going to at least the semifinals for the AFC. What are your thoughts? Sincerely, your favorite redhead, Bolt the up, okay?
Awesome. I love the positivity, dude. Yeah. This could be one of those wake up games like, holy shit, we just got our asses kicked by the Texans.
Yeah.
We're not those guys.
No.
There's got to be some personal accountability from these players on this roster.
Right.
And the guys that didn't play, hopefully they step in.
They sat and watched that crap.
They got to feel it like we did. They were helpless like we were. So now they get to go back in and step it up.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, was it last season that when we lost to, was it the Jaguars? There was a game that was it the Browns? We lost to somebody.
Won a game.
And then we went on a big winning streak, a game that we should have won.
I don't remember that.
I'm trying to remember what the record was here.
We weren't supposed to win a lot of games last year.
No, we weren't. But let's see.
No, we weren't. Nope, we weren't.
It was the Patriots. It was when we lost, when we were shut out by the Patriots, and then we went on that win streak.
Yeah. Okay, this could be our Patriots game.
Yeah, this could be that wake up game.
Could be the
we're not
second Patriots / Baltimore game. So
Yeah.
it could be the third opportunity
This is
to
our
really get it
third
going.
wake up call of the season. Yeah.
Third wake up call game. Let's
Third
roll.
time's
Stop
the charm,
hitting the
boys.
snooze button. It's time to wake up.
Wake up.
All
By
right.
the way, is our prophecy dead?
I think so.
It had to have died, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It had to have, right?
Just take Hillary to the game. Everything will be fun.
Yeah, we'll get it back on track.
Yeah.
So, Fuego Wave, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Z the King One, who asked the question. So that game was brutal, and while I still have several complaints with this team, I'm trying to emulate you guys with a bit more of shameless positivity. So, in light of that, what is your guys' ideal route to the Lombardi? In other words, who needs to win and who needs to lose for us to still make the playoffs and have a ideal matchup in the first round? And who would that be? Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, we talked about it. The 7th seed is
that's our only shot.
That's really what it's looking at. Unless these other teams just fall off the map and it doesn't look like, Taylor with Indianapolis is going to be stopped running the ball and winning. And there's a lot going on with those. So ideal matchup though, like a team that doesn't run the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, team with a weak run game, please.
Yeah, hopefully it's the Titans without Derrick Henry. I think that would be the ideal first round playoff for us as the 7 seed.
Or a not fully 100% Henry that is out there.
Back, rushes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we get the 7 seed, boys, that means if we do get past that first week, guess who we're playing in week 2?
Tell us.
Chiefs.
Tell us, Kyle. Say it again.
It's a good lineup.
The Chiefs.
Good lineup for us to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead again.
That would be ideal. That would be ideal. So
let's not get too ahead of ourselves,
won.
but that would be sweet.
That would be
7
damn
seed's
sweet.
the only option we got, and they're the 1 seed pretty much locked down. So that would be the route.
All right. Well, there you go. Z the King won, and shout out to Mike Nava. You guys both pretty much asked the same questions, but I went with Z the King won. So thank you guys for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Cute Wolves.
Certified fresh.
There you go. And shout out to Blonded Surfer, Bozzy, and Jason Dill. You guys all pretty much asked the same question, but I'm going with Cute Wolves because it's too damn cute.
It's certified fresh.
And they certified fresh. So here we go.
Is it time to question the decision or lack thereof made by Telesco? What needs to be done this offseason to right the ship and make a legitimate push with the crazy amount of cap money we have?
I think Telesco did a good job with the offense. You can only do so many things at one time, and it doesn't say that it does a lot. Kyle, shut up. He got up to that point. Let's just take it from last year.
Okay, let's go back. It's just story time.
Let's go back.
I can't go too far back because then this point won't work.
There continues to be a point where Telesco blew it. So let's pick the sweet spot that we can go back to.
I think like I said. All right, I give up. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, okay. I think the reason we have cap space is because so many guys are becoming free agents this year.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a really big overhaul of our roster. I think a lot of the guys that you think, oh, for sure they're going to come back. I think there could be a big shift because you need to add depth. And to add depth, you can't pay these guys big time money at the top of your roster. You need to get the right guys at the right time of their career in the right spots and rebuild a lot of what we have. Because if you just keep repaying these guys to come back and you're paying them more than you did before because they're now on their second contract deal, now that leaves even less room for those backups that were backing those guys up. So I think there could be a pretty big overhaul this offseason to get us to a place of better depth instead of kind of recycling what we've been doing and re-signing some guys and then not having money for the depth and then taking shots with Storm Nortons and Trey Pipkins.
Yeah, vicious cycle.
Yeah, I think the questioning of Telesco is valid. Yep. I think I'm kind of with Kevin that like my gut tells me that he's probably still going to be here next year, but I think it's understandable that you got.
Didn't our guts also tell us that we thought Lynn was going to keep his job after those 4 wins?
No.
Yeah, I think our guts had started to change at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, if we've learned anything, don't trust our guts.
Don't trust our guts.
Yeah.
So, all right, there you go. Cute Wolves, Blonded Surfer, Bozzy, and Jason Dill. Thank you guys.
Sorry,
for all
I just killed Adam's point.
You've been murdering points all episode.
Yeah. Kevin's just talking about killing things to start the episode off, and I've just been killing points.
Let's move it on now to Bobby Caldrone, who asked the question.
I've been on the Justin Jackson bandwagon since he was drafted, baby! Hey, Chicago kid, and I've been waiting on a breakout game like today. But the best ability is availability, baby! And that's his weakness. If reasonable, do you re-sign him as an RB2? Stay optimistic. We got a playoff run to make, baby!
Chicago way. I like that, Bobby.
I don't think you can. Because of his injury issues, you can't take that chance on him.
Yeah.
He's been hurt just way too much. And as you look to build a long-term roster, you can't pay guys good money to be RB2s, especially at the running back position. They're just no one's getting, even big time talented running backs are not getting second contracts. So I just don't see that ever. I don't see that being a possibility of him coming back to us and getting paid again. He might go get paid somewhere else that is desperate for a guy, but we already paid Eck. That running back 2 is going to be a cheap guy that we find in the draft or kind of try to coach up later Roundtree and see if he can do it next year.
There you go. Yeah, I think he's shown flashes, and he was basically the sole running back. I know that Kelly got thrown in a couple times. I don't know, did Roundtree get a snap or two? Yeah, I don't recall his name getting called.
He hasn't. They're going with Kelly over Roundtree at this point
right now. Yeah,
interesting.
It is interesting. So I mean, if Jackson's your only guy, then he's going to have himself a heck of a game. But even when he has been healthy, playing behind Eckler, there's not been a ton of.
He doesn't
production.
have that RB2 pop. He needs. He's a guy that needs a lot of carries to get warmed up and get going.
Yeah.
He doesn't offer that big change of pace, explosion opportunity.
I will say, I did notice in this game, there was a lot less of that shifting from side to side kind of business.
Decisive.
Like he found the hole, he was decisive.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
And I think that's an attribute to probably Lombardi from seeing him in the off season on those,
shake and bake. Less shake and bake.
Yeah. Less shake and bake. Just go for it. Be decisive. So kudos to you, Justin, for being able to grow in that regard. But Bobby, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daniel Llewellyn, who asked the question.
Hola, brochachos. KKK. So, I feel like the eagle, pigeon, falcon, pterodactyl, hummingbird front needs to have a personnel overhaul this off season. Like Tillery may be a beautiful butterfly, but a giant Texas steel toe just squashed his ass. All is not lost. Later on, dude.
Tillery's another guy that's shown flashes of maybe being good, but man, there's
how do you trust a guy with a big contract when you have so many needs?
Yeah.
I think that's an easy decision.
Yeah. So I think Kyle's right when he was saying that, expect a pretty big overhaul of this team, because I think it's going to rely more on what Staley sees and who he expects, or the talent and skills that he sees in some of these other players to fit the scheme that he's going for.
Yeah.
So there you go. Daniel Llewellyn, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Caleb Ward. And shout out to Chino Doctor. Both the guys pretty much asked the same question, and it goes something like this. Did Palmer show that he can step in for Mike Williams? If so, who are the two players we should go all in for this offseason?
I still personally, I kind of hope we re-sign Mike Williams. I know there's probably some other guys we could move in and flex in, but that jump ball, look how good that's been this year for Justin. It's almost like a check down in some ways where he can just throw it up there, and you clearly don't have that with Palmer. It's just maybe he can do something like it, but the confidence level with Herbert and Williams to just do that is, I think that's just irreplaceable in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I want Mike Will back. I think that you got to pay the guy, but I think like we talked about, you got to pick and choose. I'd rather not overhaul the whole offense and the whole defense.
Right.
You got Eck on there still, Keenan's still on his contract. You're going to have to change up wide receiver 3 because Jalen's not going to be there anymore.
Right.
But I think Palmer slides in there and can make some plays in that position. And then if you potentially draft somebody, we have a ton of draft picks. And I think that could be another potential way that we go. I don't know. I just think there's going to be a big overhaul of this roster come this offseason. But one of the guys that I would really like to keep is Mike Williams. I think he's been clutch. He's shown that he can do more out of his he could be a bigger part of the playbook. And man, some of these catches that he makes are so big. And we did not have that on Sunday.
Right.
We didn't have the big deep ball, throw it up, go get the ball kind of guy.
Or winning games. He's won quite a few games for us this year, and we just without him, we just don't have that really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand the arguments for not keeping him, but I think I agree with my guys. I think I'd much rather see him
this year.
Yeah, I'd much rather see him wearing some Charger gear. And as far as two players that we should go all in for this offseason, I don't know, man. I don't know if we
got to see who we bring back first.
Right. We got to know who's coming back, who's staying, who's going.
You could, I think Derwin James. You have the the risk of injury with him, but dude, I think you have to. I think that's an easy one for me. And then who was somebody we could? It was a 5th-year option. I think it was Mike Will. Like you could 5th-year option him, or you could go all in on him. Like I think those are the.
Mike Will is already on his.
Oh,
his
that's right. Sorry, he is
year.
on his 5th year. There's somebody else that was his 5th year.
No, Derwin James, we already took
extended
him out
him.
next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next year we pay him on that 5th-year deal. He's getting like $9 million next year because we gave him his 5th-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
But we could franchise tag Mike Williams next year.
Right. Yeah. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are going to go on.
So many moving pieces.
There's so much. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
we're
a
not
lot
ready
of free
for that
agents.
yet.
Yeah. We're not.
We're
ready
still
to
in the
talk about
season.
that.
We still are playoff hopefuls.
Right.
I'm still focused on this team that we got now.
Yeah. So there you go. Caleb Ward and Chino Doctor or DR Drive, maybe. I don't know.
Certified shout out.
Certified shout outs to you guys for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with Jeremy, who asks the question.
Dear Ask Boltfam, listen, I know that the winning teams get all the fancy ladies, the clothes, the free creams and lotions, but my life is good. Really good.
Really good.
I get to wake up every Monday, 5 a.m. with another loss. It's the best. I love it. I get to lay in a bed by myself all of my life without a Super Bowl win. It's fantastic. But I'm tired of losing. I want to win. I believe Herbert will lead us to victory with his bold powers because he's the best. Beneath his hair, we find the man. And beneath the man, we find his playoff nucleus. But we will still win. You will see because it's in the Bible and the Lord loves and forgives all of his children, even the Raiders. Okay. Ti amo adios, brother Ignacio.
I love Nacho Libre so much. Oh my God. And beneath the man, we find his nucleus.
Yes.
Oh, those are good ones.
The poopies.
Oh, yeah, my favorite color is light tan. I like volleyball.
You were pushing all of Coach's buttons there with that question, Jeremy.
I couldn't keep down. I was saying it along with you. Yeah.
Yeah. We want to wean.
We believe in science.
And we believe in science.
But
and we believe in Herbert. Absolutely. So
Let's go do this. Come on.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Boys.
Let's just go win.
Let's just go.
I want to win.
I want to be a great fighter. Can't even beat up a couple guys in the street. That's what it felt like against Houston. Like, we want to be a great team. And we can't even beat up a couple of chuds in the Texans.
It is not the best.
Yeah. We need our eagle powers, our magical eagle powers.
Yes. We need to eat from an eagle's egg.
Yep. We need to go see a water gypsy about an eagle egg.
Desperately. All right, so Jeremy, thank you.
Thank you for the drawing, by the way. He did a drawing.
Yeah, Jeremy did a drawing, which is
so
glorious of Nacho Libre in the
It's on our
Charger
Twitter
gear.
if you want to see it. It's amazing.
It's in pretty damn
his
good.
recreation clothes.
Yes.
Nacho and his robes are stinky. I just know everything
about the whole movie.
Yeah, I know all the
I love it.
It's funny.
I love it. All right. Well, it's pretty much it for Charger Chat. But before we go out, we've got Bolt predictions to make. Let's make them bold, gentlemen. It's going to be a rough game against the Broncos, who we've already lost to this season, but it's a new game. All right. So, what are some of your Bolt predictions, guys?
Go, Kyle.
I don't want to go first.
All right, I'll go first. I think it's going to be close because that's what it always is with the Broncos.
Why not? Yeah.
I think we're gonna win 21-20. I think it's gonna be everything is gonna make us feel weird, and we're not gonna feel good about the game, and it's gonna be back and forth, and 21-20 Chargers. And I don't really have a bold prediction. Like I want guys back.
I want to win.
How about at least 2/3 of the COVID list are back?
Okay, that's bold.
I guess. I'm gonna go. Screw it. We're being bold. I'm gonna say we're gonna score. Right. We have our offense should be back intact from the COVID list. Our defense is gonna be tough, but I'm gonna say we're still gonna score 30 points. I'm gonna go 30-23 victory. And my Bolt prediction. We We hold them under 100 yards rushing on the day.
There you go. I like it.
That would be pretty nice.
I'm with Kevin. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think it's going to be 24-21. And I think you said Austin Eckler was activated, right?
Yeah,
he's activated.
Back. I think Austin Eckler is going to get the winning touchdown.
Okay.
He's going to be
back. He's
going to be air guitaring in the end zone.
He's going to win.
He's going to win.
I almost hit my mic. Sorry.
That's okay. We'll let it
I'm
down.
going to win.
All right, gang. Well, that's it for this episode of Charger Chat. Thank you all for asking questions. And
that was not a fun one to get through, but we're through it, and I feel better on the other side.
It was pretty damn fun. We had some pretty damn good laughs.
I feel better on the other side. I'm not going to lie.
And only one way to go from here. Maybe up. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe up.
Yes. All right. Let's all be like Zeus. Let's go win this fucking game. All right. That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Ignacio.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Do you have a superstitious routine on game day? Do you need someone to make sure everything goes according to plan? Then you need Duggin Superstitious Game Planning. Do you need to make sure you've got the right socks? Call Duggin. Do you need to make sure you've got just the right amount of ice cubes in your drink? Call Duggin. Do you need to make sure your California burrito is made just the right way? Call Duggin. If you want to make sure your team wins on game day, don't delay and call Duggin Superstitious Game Planning today.